All right. Good evening and welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission meeting of July 7th, 2025. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast by local access programming and with remote participation available as provided on our agenda. Anyone here recording tonight's meeting? Being none. I hereby call this meeting to order at 6:33. We'll have a roll call of the members, please.
Jim Thorne.
Brendan Doyle.
Keith Thompson.
Mike Greco. Josiah Birch.
And Mark Mungem. All right, thank you very much. Anyone have a chance to look at the meeting minutes? Kate?
Yeah, I heard you were awesome last week. What happened?
Last week, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll defer the meeting minutes till the end of the meeting. And maybe we'll get a chance to look at them then. Go to new business, number 1, request for determination of applicability, public meeting. Andrew Payne, 173 West Street, septic repair, map 145, lot 31. So do I need to open this? It's just a meeting, right?
Yep.
All right. Hello. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
Margaret Bacon, Civil Site Engineering, and I'm here representing Andrew Payne for septic repair at 173 West Street. It's an existing 4-bedroom house. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's right here off of West Street, right? So you go past Cross Street right up here, you go down West Street, there's that pond there on the end of the road, and then there's the blue green that he's fixing. So existing 4-bedroom house, so I don't have a whole lot of room in the area near the house. So I have the wetland buffer zone, and I have these wells that we have to work around. So I squeezed a septic system right here. I'm within the outer 100 foot of the buffer zone, and I'm within the outer 100 foot of the 100-foot well radius.
Does the plan show the existing septic system, and do you know where it is?
There's an existing, it's kind of like a cesspool right here. Septic tank cesspool right in this general area right here. The well used to be here, but still he's within 50 feet. But, you know, back years ago. Here's the new well. We put a new well. This is an artesian well. This is an abandoned shale. So here's the radius. We've got the septic and the pump chamber for Title V outside that 50-foot radius. But I can't get the septic beyond the 100, because here's the property line, the stone wall. And then over on the other side, you'll see I've got this, the wetland and the 50-foot buffer zone, so kind of squeezed.
Okay. What's the solid red line on the right side to the right of the septic system? I can't read this plan. It's kind of small.
Right. Well, there is a...
Over a little bit more to your right.
To your right.
That pinkish.
That pinkish red?
erosion control.
Okay.
I kind of try to color coordinate it with the detail.
Okay. How will it be accessed?
There's an existing gravel drive right here, existing.
Okay, I see that. And that goes within the 50-foot buffer, huh?
Yeah, but that's been there.
Okay. And the stone wall that you were seeing behind?
Yes, that's the stone wall here is about 3 to 4 feet high, so the septic system's going to blend right into that stone wall.
So there's a 3 to 4 foot fill for the septic system, and then that's going to kind of come out at the grade of the top of the wall?
No, yeah, I'm going to be below the top of that wall.
Below?
Yes.
Okay.
Anytime you're within the 100-foot well radius, you can't get that groundwater reduction. So I had to raise that system to be 4 feet above groundwater. So I blended it in with this wall, and I have a membrane that goes right around the whole thing, and they break out.
What is the gray block, the gray square beyond the septic system?
It's an old concrete garage slab.
Okay. Is that on the same property, or is that off of this
Yes,
property?
well, we thought about putting the system over here, but what happens is you're going to have a big hump that's out in the middle of a flat area, which is going to create a whole lot more disturbance. Whereas here, I'm using the existing stone walls to minimize the amount of fill.
But out there, we could be outside the 100-foot buffer?
Could be more disturbance. A lot more trees would be coming down. But I'd have a system that would, I'd have to, it's going to be a raised system, so it's going to be one of those big, looks like one of those turtlebacks, You're out there in the middle of nothing to blend into. Now, this has already been approved by the Board of Health.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'm familiar with this property.
Yep.
Andrew's my neighbor, and his house is green now.
I know
He's been painting it. But where the well is, it's up at least 4 or 5 feet higher than the proposed septic system is. It's the well's up higher than that, so it naturally flows downhill. So I don't know, I think it looks pretty good.
Thanks, Josiah.
Yep.
Is the wall that the septic system is adjacent to, is that property boundary?
Well, yeah, it's about a 4-foot wide wall, it's one of those old freestanding, rather wide walls. And and then here's the property lines, based on, monuments that we found out there, just on the backside. So the actual septic system, believe it or not, is 10 feet away from the property line.
And that's,
So what we're going to fill, so they're going to fill it into that wall. That's what catches our grade.
and that does not affect the neighbors in terms of their wells or septic or anything like that? And you said this is all trees where the septic system is proposed to be?
Now, right here, there's really, there's a couple of old trees right here that would die, but it's all yard. And then you can see there's an existing stone wall right here, so as it drops down here, so we fill in that area. This is kind of not as much fill. So minimal trees, that's your question.
All right. I'm asking all the questions. I'm sorry. You guys have any comments or questions? Any concerns?
Not at the moment. Did Sam already go out there?
Yeah, so I did go out to the site. So I've got some pictures up right now. This location, when you're looking at this photo, to the right, I believe, Margaret, is right, that's where it's going to be, right? Right next to the stone wall, kind of in this area.
Just right on the other side of that little picnic table heading towards the house.
Okay, so this is giving a good look, looking towards where it's going to be located. So Brennan and I didn't really have any concerns with this one. We're outside of the 50-foot buffer zone for the leach field, so we're okay with that. There are more wetlands, to your comment, Mark, there are more wetlands in the back as well. So even if it was moved farther back, there's potential that it could be in the buffer zone back there. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but there are wetlands back there. So this is just what it generally looks like. We don't have any further comments. We recommend a negative redetermination for this one. Yeah. Brandon was very interested in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of just looking towards the house as the current conditions right now. So no further, we were
So-
wondering about the Board of Health issue, but that's for Board of Health. So as far as wetlands are concerned, they're meeting the setbacks for that.
And he also, just as an FYI, he's also, he just acquired this property, and he is cleaning up a lot of that junk that's,
Out there?
yeah,
Okay.
can be tested in.
Yep, he has actually.
We're recommending a -3.
Okay. I just had a question. I don't care, like, if you vote or not, but I wasn't sure. Are you friends with him or not?
If you're a direct, are you a direct butter?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Then you shouldn't vote, right?
I was gonna,
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to keep us kosher,
Yeah, you
that's
have to
all.
abstain from the vote, yeah.
he's my neighbor. Yep.
Look, you get so
You should recuse yourself from voting, and just make it official so that then Kate
Oh.
can vote.
Oh, okay, I was gonna, I see, because
You know, you
batting
don't,
order.
it's not, you don't abstain, you have to recuse yourself from the,
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm recusing myself from this vote.
Great, thank you. All right, well, I have no problem with a negative determination based on,
So I'll make a, is everyone else okay?
wait, we have to close?
Nope, not for this one. So I'll make a negative RDA request for determination of applicability for 173 West Street, septic repair, map 145, lot 31.
Second?
Okay, motion's been made by, and made and and seconded by Brendan. Yeah, turn it that way, Chip. For a negative determination of applicability, roll call vote.
Jim for and I.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Pete Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Trail.
Nice to get them all at once.
Yeah, exactly. All right, item number 2 on the agenda, under new business, a 6:30 PM public meeting, request for determination of applicability for Cynthia Brockett, 44 Ridge Trail, another septic repair, map 131, lot 17. Open the public meeting.
Good evening again. I'm here representing Cynthia Crockett from 44 Ridge Trail. And same thing, another septic repair on the lake, and those properties are all kind of tight constraints. So just to get your bearings, here's Ridge Trail right here on the bottom. Here's Whiten's Reservoir here. Here's the existing house. There's an existing garage. Here's the driveway. Here's the neighbor's well. Here's our well. So there's no way you can really put a system on this property without being within the 100-foot well radiuses of both the abutter and our own well. And then also, here's the 100-foot buffer zone. So basically, you really don't have a whole lot of options here. So what we're doing is we're designing concrete diffusers, these concrete chambers that you can drive over. Because these things are going to be a little deep too, because I'm kind of bucking the grade coming up this way. But it's a system that'll meet the requirements of Title V. It's already been approved by the Board of Health. And there's really no other place that I can put the system. Which, there's no reason it works just fine, just where I have it anyways.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to you, Samantha, please.
So I'm going to bring up some pictures real quick. I went out to the site with Brandon. So our work is going to take place outside of the 50-foot buffer zone completely, so we'll still be in the 100-foot buffer zone partially. So I'm going to head down the driveway here. And then kind of to the left of the red car is where this is going to take place. So it's going to be with an existing lawn. This is the cesspool, I believe, that's currently on site. This is looking down towards the pond. And then this is the general area right here to the right of the car that it's going to be dug in. So we didn't have any issues with it. We recommend a -3 determination for this one. My only question was if there was going to be trees that needed to be taken down for this. I'm assuming some of this might need to be taken down, but...
Well, I tried to design it so we didn't. So so probably, when I shoot the tree lines, it's really the drip line. So probably some of it's probably going to have to be trimmed. But we tried to do it to avoid taking any trees down.
Will any of the asphalt have to come up at all for this? Or will it be right along the edge?
Yeah, it's going to be a little.
Okay.
By the time they're done digging the hole, part of this is going to come up. He's just going to have to repave it.
Yeah, so with that, with being an existing lawn, we didn't have any comments or concerns for this one, so we recommend a negative.
Any concerns or thoughts to the board?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know what else you could possibly do here, and it's going to be an improvement over the old cesspool, so.
Yeah, you know, on these lake properties, these small properties, it almost designs itself. This is the only place it's really going to go, and then so you pick the system that'll work in that location.
Yeah.
Decide you have you all set? Or
I was just going to ask, does it go downhill?
There's a slight grade difference, about actually 2 feet. So the system itself will be flat underground, but there will be a slight, grade on top that's going to have probably not much of a slope there, but it does drop 2 feet from here to there. So that'll be all loamed and seeded, and I did put erosion control right here until things are stable.
I know it's really tight, but should there be erosion control on the side along the property boundary? I know there's trees there and everything, but is there going to be a fill?
Well, this all probably going to happen pretty... There won't be any fill. He's going to have to remove some material, and I'm sure he's not going to have a whole lot of area to work. So he's probably going to, probably load it right onto the truck, and just take it right out of there. And this is all nice gravel anyway, so he's just going to take off the top and sub, get down to the gravel, put in these concrete chambers, backfill it with Title V, and then regrade it. So he's probably not even going to, like I said, he doesn't have a whole lot of work here to stockpile anything, so he told me the trucks are going to
take it
sit there and just load it.
Right. And it's probably going to be a pretty clean cut on the outside because he'll be excavating the material, not filling. Meaning he'll be digging into the ground along that far edge against the property line to construct it, and that material is just going to come out. So there'll be a clean edge. There'll be a clean edge of excavation
That's correct.
in the grass.
That's correct. Because he doesn't want to move this material twice, so that's why, he'll have the excavator here and then the truck, the dump truck here, and load it in and...
okay.
Should we condition it, that what you just said, that the material be removed from the excavation and loaded out directly and not stockpiled on the site?
Not stockpiled on site.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Not stockpiled.
So we'll do I'll make a motion for a negative determination for applicability for 44 Ridge Trail Map 131, Lot 17, with the condition that there'll be no stockpiling on the property.
Second? Second?
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Mike for negative determination of applicability with the condition that the excavated material be loaded out and removed from the site directly without any stockpiling. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mongemai. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You staying with us, or you got, is that it?
I think I got a certificate, so I'm
Wow.
going to be in the audience.
Okay.
Mark, I have a question about stockpiling. Is there a duration? Like, is stockpiling for a day, stockpiling, or stockpiling like for like a month or something?
Yeah, no, it would be over a period of time, a longer period of time, not a day.
Got it. You guys are so quick to the vote, I didn't get a chance to ask, sorry.
Oh, you can always just
I'm
let...
kidding.
Sorry.
It's a good question because it wasn't really stated or said, so.
You guys can always go around in a circle if you wanted to. You really could.
No, well, that's why I pulled my phone up, because I looked up the definition of stockpile, so I wouldn't have to ask the question. Oh.
Thank you.
All right, item number 3, request for determination of a public meeting, Aaron Sokrat, 49 Lindbergh Ave, map 227, lot 20, for an addition. Someone here representing?
He himself.
He himself, Aaron Sokrat, is in the building.
So, it's not a big thing, but everything's a big thing because it's important. So, we built this house, started about 14 years ago, built this house, went through everybody, getting all the woods. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a 30-degree angle in the house. And over here, we have the existing deck, and we're proposing a 9-foot from the house by 13.8. It's not very big, but it's important. My son got married on stuff, things. And we have 2 rooms on this first floor. I mean, this is one open kitchen, eating family, and then we have our bedroom over here. So there's no other rooms on that first floor. And we just like to build this room. It's up in the air. It will be on stilts. We're not going to dig. It's fairly level back there. We're going to use helical piers, which we used over at on Locust Street for that porch across. And oh my God, the helical piers are like surgery, right in the ground. And I did a little quickie rendering, but it's not that. Because it's at an angle, it looks like it's more over the deck, but it's actually a couple of feet over the deck. And it's higher than the deck a little bit. The deck steps down. So when we built that house, we didn't want to see the rails. So when we come out, we step to a little landing and then step down again. Very smitten to be So, thank you. So that's the addition, but it's actually because when I did this elevation 14 years ago, I just did it flat level, but it actually opens up like this at an angle 30 degrees, you can see that. So that's what we're going to do. 2 piers, 2 posts here, helical piers, and that's it, up in the air, 9 by 13 feet. And I'd like to, I think the engineer, and my first engineer who did the septic and everything was Byron Andrews Engineering. And he did this plan, and my point was, West Bologna. So, but anyway, that's what we're looking at.
I see there's space underneath the piers.
It's open under there.
Yeah, what will happen underneath
Well, we
the
have
addition?
Currently,
Currently, okay.
roll it off like the Egyptians down, keep it so the erosion control. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So the erosion control barrier will be below it, but it's
Right.
super kind of level there. If you ever want to come over, please, I'm so happy with that property. I don't even cut any trees down or anything. I love being concealed as much as possible. So I'm going to, once that thing's built, then we'll put the hot tub in. And it's halfway, and it's going to be my only gutter on the house. I don't have any gutters on the house, but I didn't want a drip line on the top of the hot tub. And, you know, so it's my thing. It was a health thing, 25 minutes going to a hot tub. And I kind of loved it. So what I was saying about Byron Andrews, he put on here like a hay bale with erosion control fabric. It's not what the town does. You guys like to do the wattles. I'd rather do the wattles right up front because my neighbor next door was doing a project, bought all the hay bales or straw bales and bought everything. And then he was told he had to do wattles and he removed the hay. So
Yep.
I like to be upfront about that so I don't have to like put it in and then remove it. So.
Nope.
And that's it.
Okay. Stay up here, Aaron,
Sure.
just in case anybody has questions for you, like me.
But you have
Direct-
You can sit if you need, yeah.
If I need.
Yeah, no.
Sam, have you been out to the site and taken a look?
Yes, so I have some pictures up right now. So basically, the entire house is within the 100-foot buffer zone to, I believe there's bordering vegetated wetlands associated with the pond as well, and then you have the bank of pond too. So this is looking at the front of the house, and we're going around towards the back. So this is kind of your general idea of what the backyard looks like. To the right here is where that addition is going to be. I think I have a better picture that'll show it. Yeah, this is a good one. So it's all with an existing vegetated lawn. Here's the hot tub down here. Our only real comment with this is when you look at the site plan, the addition is going to be within the 50-foot no-build zone. Now, it is previously disturbed, but it's up to Mr. Sokrat to explain to the commission why he believes we will not have adverse impacts to resource areas by building this within the 50-foot no-build zone. So that's basically our only comment with that. Other than that, again, existing disturbed lawn. This is kind of what it looks like around the other side. So here I'm pretty close to the bank of pond. The limit is going to be, the deck itself will come as close as I believe 41 feet to the resource area, the wetland line. The erosion control, I think it's going to be closer than that, but I didn't get a direct number on the site plan. But yeah, that's our only real comment
So
for that.
the no impact, which is not allowed, is that we have 2 posts in the ground, and I plan on using the helical piers. So there won't even be any footings being dug, concrete being brought in, anything like that. We're talking about going to your dentist, have like 2 of them, and then that's it, and the posts go up on top of that. So no impact.
How will they get around to put the helical piers
There's
in
a
there?
12-foot, you can show the picture down the hill that didn't get mowed until I mowed it last week.
That's the only good picture I have.
Well, go maybe to the front. So, oh yeah, that's a good picture. So this is the garage. Go back. This is the garage there. And there's about 14 feet in here. And it's a slight angle, and it's accessible. So that's where it comes in. The driveway's up here, all gravel, and then we're going to come down here, it comes over. So it's not like there's only 6 feet or something. It's very wide.
So it's on the eastern side or
What
the,
side?
of the garage?
Oh.
The
that's
access,
on-
the access. Is the access between the garage and the house, or is
The
it?
side of the garage and the western side of the house.
Okay, so it's between
The
them.
back of the house, the deck faces north, which you think you wouldn't want, but I love it because it's not that hot there. And you get a nice view of the side.
So if the commission is comfortable with Mr. Sokrat's explanation, then we would recommend a negative determination for this one as well. seeing as it's all within existing lawn. And to the comment about the wattles, straw wattles are absolutely what we recommend over hay bales. You don't want to spread the seed of the hay
Right.
around, so straw wattles would be perfect.
Which is our normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my neighbor next door, who's got a project going on, told me where to get them. Lowe's has them. So he's using those over there.
And you mentioned that there is a roof drain, a gutter drain?
Yeah, there'll be I think I want to use a leaf, I've never used a leaf, what's it called, leaf shield on a gutter.
Yeah.
So that, otherwise I get a drip line right on top of that.
Right.
So, and I don't have any gutters in the entire house, and I have a 2-foot overhang. Or in the garage, because you could see a cant strip on the engine, it's at an angle, so it drips off. But I think I'm going to put a gutter on that. Do you want me to dig a little beehive and put it in there, so we don't get any erosion?
Yeah, that's where I was going with that question, was
Super.
to know where the outfall for that would be and to make sure
Yeah,
that
I don't
there's
want
not
erosion anyway.
a point drain that
Yeah.
erodes or could erode.
Perfect.
And I would also have these hay bales or straw wattles that you show, just carry them a little further up towards the garage.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
To make sure that they're catching.
One more
the-
footer, so it's all.
Yeah, yeah, so that, you know, the water's kind of going towards there from off of where you're going to access, so those would be my 2 points to the plan, or my
What's
2
the
thoughts.
technical terminology for the beehive hole?
Well,
Or-
so it could be anything that is like a concrete brown drum that has perforated holes in it, and it's filled with crushed stone, and it leaches a bad word, but it brings the water down further into the ground without it eroding on top. I know that we have about 10 inches width of crushed stone around the entire foundation. I also have what they call waterproofing, which is an elastomeric around the foundation, but in the back, it's only a 4-foot frost wall.
Okay.
I could actually have it go right into the side of the 4-foot frost wall, as long as it gets in the ground and dissipates. And we're talking about a 9 by 13 roof.
Yeah,
Tiny.
it's not very.
Yeah, it's tiny, but, yep.
But still something.
So I would say that if there is existing gravel frost wall, as you said, that if we could put it into that, that would be ideal. And when it's just that it doesn't come out on the top of the ground, it should go down into a little basin or something with gravel around it, so that
And I already found out
it
as well, because I was
infiltrates.
looking for my well where it goes into the house, and the engineers had put it on the side of the garage, on the house, but on the side, I dug this big hole looking for it, and it wasn't there. And then I found it, I put it on my drawing, because, it's my drawings, I'm an architect, whatever. And I found it, and then I dug another hole, and I did find it. So I know there's stone there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm sure there is. Something else I was going to say. If the board remembers, we had a similar type of a deck on another house very recently that we approved. So, as a precedent, this isn't a precedent. We've already approved something very similar to this on piers that stuck into further into the buffer zone. So, any other thoughts or questions?
I'm good.
Anybody in the audience have any comments? On Zoom, anybody have any comments or thoughts? All right,
All right.
yeah,
I'll make a motion for a negative determination for 49 Lindbergh Ave, map 227, lot 20, and for the drainage for the gutters being installed, make sure it goes into crushed stones.
Do you want to add, do you
And-
need a condition for the wattles, to extend the wattles? You don't have to.
Put it in.
make condition to use straw wattles, not straw, is that right?
One
Straw
thing-
wattles, yeah.
To use straw wattles and to extend them towards the garage.
That's what they use next door.
Okay.
They do that.
As long as it's straw.
No,
And also to use the straw wattles and extend
Yeah.
Extend them up close to the garage.
to up closer to the garage.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brendan. Motion's been made by Jim, seconded by Brendan to approve the negative determination with the conditions stated. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Susan.
Thank you. I'm depending on him. You know, it's called legacy. Take care, everybody. Thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right. New business item number 4.
This
Notice
one
of-
got continued, so you just need to open the public hearing, and then you can vote to continue it. Once you open it and read it in.
All right. Notice of intent, no DEP number yet, public hearing for Steve Flagg, 3 Huff Road, for a single-family home, map 111, lot 44. You want to
Make a motion.
make a motion to, waive
Yep.
the reading of the public hearing notice?
You gotta read it in. Yeah, you gotta read it, you just read it in, right?
No, not yet. We
Okay,
have to,
yeah,
we have to
first.
open the public hearing first. Yep.
And then read it in. So you can't waive it.
All right. Do you have public hearing notice?
Not. How about you just read it in next time? You can open it and then read it in next time when they come in.
Okay.
Because I don't see it at all in here.
Okay, so I will make a motion to continue to the 8/4 meeting for 3 Hugh Road, map 111, lot 44.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to continue the public hearing to August 4th. All those, or roll call vote?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco,
Yes or no?
yes.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you. All right, go to old business, item number 5, 6:30 PM, NOI. Do we have a DP number for this one yet?
No.
Still no DP number, okay. Notice of intent for the Douglas Highway Department, Maple Street and right-of-way for road drainage improvements. No map or lot. I'll now open the public hearing. Is there anybody here representing town?
Yes, good evening. Lori Benoit with Stantec.
Hi, Lori, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. So I think you've sent some revised plans with some changes that were made. Could you just review those with us, please?
Sure thing. Let me bring it up on my screen. There There we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so based on the feedback from the commission back in June, the last meeting, plans were revised. We submitted revised plans and dewatering information and a cover letter with schedule of construction, et cetera. We can go over those if you like. But just starting with the plans, we added a note about the dewatering here. So the revisions to the plans, we put these, the little cloud bubble around anything that was new in the plans to be easy, to make it as easy as possible to see what the changes were.
Great.
So this was a note about dewatering being needed. So it'll be required at select locations along the project route, right? So the purpose is to minimize discharge of sediment and groundwater that's removed from excavations and trenches. The contractor will know then that dewatering will be required. It has to be routed through appropriate controls, and we are suggesting filter bags. The final conditions will be up to the means and methods that the contractor, I assume, will submit to the commission. So there has to be some filtration method before dewatering, and then a discharge to a catch basin or before or to the receiving water. What we're proposing is the filter bags will have a discharge through vegetated areas, filtered before it enters the water body. It enters the stream.
So based on what you just said, it will be the contractor's responsibility to design how the dewatering will get done.
Yes, but it was, at the last meeting, it was requested that we present a reasonable estimate of the dewatering process.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And, yep. Okay, so let me just move down a little to the other plan. Let's see. You'll see a couple places where the filter bags that were placed on the plans are depicted now. Right, so they'll be pumped from the trench where the excavation will occur to remove the old sunken degraded pipe and install the new pipe. So it'll be pumped to filter bags for sediment to settle out, and then it'll be allowed by overland flow to trickle through vegetated areas before it goes back to the stream. And there's a blow up of this that this might be a little easier to see. Here we go. Whoops. There. So again, you can see here where we put the approximate locations of proposed filter bags for dewatering the trench during construction. Also, there was a request to show more of the sediment controls to go around the proposed splash pad. So these little wiggly lines, so that would be proposed core logs, sediment control, or compost filter tubes. So both along the edges of the road and then also around the work area for head wall replacement and splash pad creation.
Will the dewatering discharge be below or above the core logs or that filtration area in the stream?
It should be allowed to. I don't know if it'll be closer to the core logs or the core logs might come up to the filter bag on either side, but it has to be, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but there has to be a means for the filtered water to drain, downslope through existing vegetation back to the resource area. Or it'll be a slow filtration underneath or through the core logs.
Okay.
And then the other, so was a request for a little more detail. This is a detail showing the an example of an existing head wall flow of stream, and from left to right in this detail, having overlapping compost filter tubes or core logs from area of disturbance, and then also having additional sediment control while there is work going on to remove and then replace the head wall and to construct that proposed splash pad, scour protection. And then finally, this was added. It's an example of, the dewatering bags that may be used with the specs for those filter bags. So those are the changes to the plans. Did anyone have any questions on them?
Anyone have any questions?
I'm okay.
Nope, we're okay.
Great, and you received the other materials, so there was, specifications for dewatering that would go to the contractor.
Yes.
And then there was the details of the workflow, the schedule and the workflow for the construction, the approximate number of days for each part of the construction.
Can you just go through that with us again, please?
Sure. I can actually bring it up. So the general construction sequencing and schedule. So it's proposed to commence still in 2025. So hopefully later this summer. Of course, always starting with the installation of sedimentation controls. There might not be any erosion controls at this site. Mobilizing and establishing a staging area. So 2 days first, then 1 day. And again, these are approximate time frames. Install proposed roadway drainage infrastructure. So these double grate catch basins, manholes, the replacement HDPE drainage pipes. So approximately 6 days for those items. And then there'd be excavation and removal of the existing deteriorated 36-inch metal pipe, the CMP, that whole culvert system to be removed, installation of proposed drain manhole, HDP cross, so installing the new HDPE culvert, new head wall and splash pad, approximately 3 days for that. Full depth reconstruction for segments of pavement and permanent drainage trench, so patching some of the pavement. So approximately 4 days. Installing any final landscaping and seeding, approximately 2 days. And once everything is stabilized, so we didn't add a time frame to this, but once everything is stabilized and inspected by the Conservation Commission, then the final sediment controls would be removed, and then demobilizing the staging areas probably would occur before anything. The sedimentation controls are removed.
Okay.
But that all depends on the inspection by the Concom.
Yeah, I would like,
Yes.
We've talked about having pre-construction meeting. For something like this, I think it would be important, so I would like to add that to the schedule, like 4 to 7 days prior to construction starting is for a pre-construction meeting with the Conservation Commission conservation agent to review the proposed work
Sure.
and erosion controls.
Yep,
So,
no problem, yeah.
Sam, would we want to do that after the erosion controls are in place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So instead
What
of,
happens, we can inspect the erosion controls and do it all in one day.
yeah, so not 4 to 7 days, forget what I just said.
Okay.
We'll do it after installation of sediment and erosion controls and, before the work actually starts.
Okay. And would you like an email submittal of this revised construction sequencing and schedule?
Yep, that'll be fine. Thank you.
Okay, so we can just do a quick revision and email that in for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sufficient?
Yeah, that's sufficient.
Okay.
And then,
So after sediment controls, but before construction commences. Okay.
I mean, I should qualify that by saying before construction begins in the area of the culvert replacement, because you have some other drainage work that you're going to be doing as well further up the street that ties into this. And that's not, the erosion control at the culvert, the new culvert in the pond and the perennial stream is not really impacted by that. So, I mean, if some work starts in that area, that's not a problem, but any of the work within the jurisdictional area shouldn't start until we have that pre-construction meeting.
Got it. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. There's some portions of the project that are outside the jurisdictional regulatory areas.
Right. Anybody else?
Okay. Anything else? Did you want a quick review of the other items on the cover of the letter? We covered.
I was fine with the attachment A draft of the specifications, which details what, the contractor is supposed to do and what he's responsible for, so that was fine. And that was, so we had the plans, the schedule, and and that attachment.
so then we can just make a motion to continue to the next time,
Yeah,
August
so
4th, since we don't have a DP.
Exactly, can't close it tonight. If you don't, through the chair, just for future, once you do approve this, we were thinking of special conditions just ahead of time. We typically will include an O&M plan, the operation and maintenance plan, with this kind of project. On their stormwater checklist, they had the schedule for inspection and maintenance will be in accordance with the Town of Douglas MS4 permit annual maintenance program as amended from time to time. So that's something we recommend is doing a special condition, which I can reiterate this when we come back around to it, but just so you know for right now. And then another one, this control of water document has a lot of good information, all the measures they put in, like refueling more than 100 feet away from any resource area. They did all these bullet points that are really good to add in as a special condition as well. So our recommendation is to add this document itself as a special condition. Lori, if you could, I don't know if you guys wrote this, but if we can get not a draft of this letter, the control of water replacement 36-inch CMP cross culvert, this letter, we can make it official rather than a draft.
Sure.
That would be great, so then we can add it in. So if we can get that, if you can get it in before the next meeting, that'd be great, and then we could add it in as a special condition as well. Those are our comments, but yeah, for now, we don't have a DEP file number, so can't close it.
Yep, we can do that, no problem.
Anybody in the audience have any comments? On Zoom, anybody? All right. Then I,
I'll make a motion to continue public hearing for, the Douglas Highway, Maple Street, and R&O map lot, non-applicable, to extend to August 4th, 2025.
A second.
motion's been made by Jim, seconded by Brendan to continue this public hearing. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Monjam, aye. All right. Moving right along.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. 6, enforcement orders, Lakeshore Drive enforcement order. I assume we have not heard back?
No, I just emailed DEP again today. So I just kind of said we had a site walk in October. We did this. We just would like an update. Any update would be great. So I had Tom Rabulo was the guy from DEP that was there on the site walk. So I sent him a direct email, and I also CC'd someone else from DEP. So we'll see.
All right.
I also emailed the DEP again.
Did you really?
No response. Shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah, you were too kind.
Next
You
time,
have to
you know.
be.
If we don't get a response, I mean, we can kind of keep going to higher ups in DEP and see where we can get from there. I mean, I don't know if there's much we can do about it at the moment, but
Yeah.
Be nice just to get any kind of response.
It would be very nice, wouldn't it? Just to know.
Yeah. Hey, we're not going to help. Or what-
Right, or whatever.
Common courtesy, anything.
Yeah, it'd be
Sorry about the next year and a half.
All right, going on to item 7 on our agenda is a request for certificate of compliance, DEP number 143-1079 for Norma Aldrich, 58 Cottage Colony, map 159, lot 34.
Welcome back. Good evening again.
State your name, please.
Okay, Margaret Bacon, Civil Site Engineer, and I'm here representing Norma Aldrich and requesting a certificate of compliance for property at 55 Cottage Colony Road. So pretty much everything was installed as per the design plans. And we need to describe the actual dimensions.
Is this overlaid over what was existing
Yeah, well,
or what was proposed?
proposed, and what was constructed was exactly what was proposed.
Oh, it's exact.
Pretty much so, yeah.
No changes?
No.
All right. And we have a letter that states that. A final site inspection was conducted in May 2025. Please let this letter serve as certification that the constructed activities are within acceptable limits of the approved permitted plan. Sam, did you take a look at this?
I did. So I have the site plan pulled up, but so it's a little confusing because the red is the as-built, obviously. Now, I think in the very original proposal, the addition and the deck weren't supposed to be there, but then they came back, I believe, for an amendment. There was revisions to the site plan, so I have revised deck, include stairs, increase erosion control, so that was added, and then include show front step roof and additional additional dimensions, so that was added as well. So as far as those things are concerned, it's built as it was proposed. So I have a couple, I'll bring the pictures up right now, but you can see on the site plan it's got this concrete walkway to the right of the house if you're looking directly at the site plan. So that concrete walkway isn't there. There's actually a driveway in that location instead currently. Now the concrete walkway was proposed to come down pretty far, which the driveway does not come down as far as that concrete walkway was originally depicted. And I'll get this pictures up just so you can kind of get a general idea. So the deviations that I found would be there's a driveway there instead. There's no concrete walkway, but there's a driveway. And then we've got a riprap swale going from the driveway down towards the pond currently. So let me get... So when you're looking in from the street, here's that driveway, which was not shown on the site plan.
Is that just crushed stone, or is
No,
that
this is
paved?
paved. Yeah,
Okay.
this is pavement. So I'm going to go around the house, but the vegetation looks good. Everything is grown in as far as the lawn. So I think it's safe for the erosion controls to come out. I actually think they should be coming out right away. That's just part of the certificate of compliance, but the erosion controls can come out ASAP. I'm just kind of going around to the backyard. There's the deck. And then we'll get a good look from looking in at the house as well here. So you can kind of see in this picture to the right, here's this riprap swale that comes down this hill, which was not on that original site plan. Now,
Is that outside of the driveway to the,
it's
Or is
south of, as long as I'm saying the directions properly, I'm not looking at the site plan, but it's south of the driveway. So where Brandon's truck is parked here in this picture, it's just directly south. So originally they had proposed this concrete walkway to come down kind of behind the stairs here in this picture. So the walkway was supposed to come down and there was no driveway proposed. And then there was no riprap swale proposed either. Now the property line is pretty close over here. But let me
So instead of the walkway being cement, they just threw their,
Now
and
there-
put rocks.
where the
they did their thing?
well, see, so where the grass is here in this photo, that's where the concrete walkway was supposed to be. It was supposed to be closer to the house, not where this riprap swale is. It was supposed to be closer. And it was supposed to come down the hill a little bit here, but it was just never created. So there's a driveway parking area right up here where the truck is, and then we've got a riprap swale. At the top, you can see, obviously we have a decline here, but when I get up to the top, the sediment does gather right here. I will say the riprap swale is doing a good job of keeping sediment. There was no sediment at the bottom going down towards the pond. It stays right up in this area. But those are the only deviations that I found from the original site plan. So it just depends on the commission's comfort level with approving with those deviations. If you are comfortable with that, we recommend a complete COC as long as the erosion controls are taken out. Again, the vegetation has grown in very well, so we don't have any issues with that. It's stable.
Is the driveway within the 100-foot buffer zone?
I'd say yes.
Yes.
The buffer zone's on the other side of the...
It's in the road, isn't it? Right in Cottage Colony Drive.
I'm trying to think, I'm trying to remember when the as-built here was for the septic and all that. I don't remember seeing that paved driveway there. It was kind of fairly new, right?
It looks relatively new.
So I'll say what I think. I mean, I think that this, I don't want to say is a significant change, but it's a change to what was approved.
Yep.
And as such, I think it needs to be documented. I think that the as-built should show it, and I think that, you know, that riprap swale, as you showed, is doing something very important, and so we don't want it to be removed, really, now that the driveway is paved. So I think we need to,
NOI.
you know, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think they need to identify it as part of a list that goes with the letter that says, these were the changes made to the plan. We added a driveway, the concrete walk was eliminated, and in place of the concrete walk, we did riprap, and so that stuff then doesn't get changed again, you know, because the next person that owns this house may say, we don't like that riprap, we want to put the walk back in, and then that would defeat
Wouldn't
the
it be
purpose.
cleaner then just to update this drawing, the as-built?
I do want them to do that. I want both. I want them to update the drawing, and then this list, the letter that we get that says a final inspection was made, and this letter will serve as certification that the constructed activities are within the accepted limits. Instead of saying that, I would like it to say, these were the changes that were made as shown on the as-built.
Okay, and then the as-built would be
Yeah.
updated with those.
Yeah, exactly. That's my kind of feeling as to how.
No, that's correct. You're right. You're absolutely right. So I think, like I said, when we did this survey, I don't think that driveway was there. I'm not sure about that. I've got pictures myself, but I should have picked up on it. I was out and saw her on Monday, and she wanted this as-built. So, my fault.
Now, Sam, does that, does that stop them from doing any, well, they would have to come back in if they wanted to make any other changes, right?
Absolutely,
All
yeah.
right.
Any other changes, they'd have to come back. But, I mean, if she came in with that on the plan, with the deviations, you know, would you approve it with that? You kind of have to think about that. Otherwise, would you have them come back for an RDA or a notice of intent for that? I believe the order of conditions is expired at this point. I don't know when it was issued, maybe in 2023 or 4, 5, 6, 7,
23.
So, I mean, it technically could be added if you wanted an amendment to it, but if you think you would approve it as part of this certificate of compliance, then it's up to you.
I think I would in this case only because the riffraff and everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And obviously, I would be okay with that for this particular case. That's just my opinion.
I think since they added the driveway, that's why they added the riprap. I think they're trying to do the right thing, so to me, it seems to make sense.
Right, I agree.
And I agree, just have the letter and the plan updated, and then once that's done, we're good to go. I think, but
So we don't issue a certificate tonight, or just?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
so then once she does the letter and updates that, she comes back.
And the plan.
Yeah, the plan and the letter, and then we can just approve it.
Yeah, because I don't think it's a substantial enough change to warrant like
No.
another NOI or anything like that, so I just think, I just want to document it. All right,
No problem.
I
Okay,
don't think we have to vote on that, we'll just,
No.
sure. I'll get the plan in, and then you can put me on
the next,
whatever meeting.
yeah, we want you to come back anyways.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your company. Thank you. Next up, item number 8, request for certificate of compliance, DEP number 143-1045, Lackey Dam Properties, 22 Conservation Drive, map 145, lot 13. Someone here representing this project?
Yes, Robert Charrier, Lucky Dam Properties.
Hi, Robert, how are you?
Very good. How you guys doing?
Good, good.
So what we're trying to do here is get the final sign off on this project. We came in like December of last year and got a partial release. And we're looking at the grass is growing now to get a full release on the order of conditions.
Yep. I remember that. Sam, have you been able to take a look at the property?
Yep, so I'll bring some pictures up. So, as Robert just stated, this would come in back in December. A site inspection was done not by Brandon or myself at the time, whoever was reviewing it at the time, did the inspection and said that everything was good to go besides the grass needing to grow in. So I've got pictures up here. The erosion controls do need to be removed, so that should be done as soon as possible as part of the certificate of compliance. The grass is a little patchy in some areas, but to us, it's good enough to
You got that
pass.
coverage, yeah.
Like in the front, you can see kind of here, it's a little bit patchy, but overall you want 75% kind of everywhere coverage, so it doesn't look too bad. They have sprinklers out right now. I'd recommend them to maybe put a little more seed down and water it just to make sure everything's growing in a little bit thicker, but other than that, I've got the pictures. The erosion controls need to be removed. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, as long as the commission's comfortable with that, just need the erosion controls removed.
Is that a sign?
Yeah, so there's signs here, the wetland signs along the boundary,
Okay.
along the limit of work. Maybe
Beautiful.
gotten approved as part of the order of conditions at the beginning.
And is that silt fence right there that I can see?
Yes, so that all needs to be removed.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't want to remove it until we were all finished with everything.
Yep.
Understood.
So that we recommend a complete certificate of compliance.
Okay.
Good.
I'm good.
All right.
So make motion
Sure.
for request of certificate of compliance for DP 143-1045 for 22 Conservation Drive, map 145, lot 13.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jim, seconded by Mike Greco to approve the certificate of compliance for DP number 143-1045, Lackey Dam Properties, 22 Conservation Drive. Roll call vote.
Jim Farn, aye?
Brennan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Munjam, aye.
And Sam, do you go out to make sure it gets removed
We don't
before?
typically.
Okay.
Sometimes, depending on if the grass wasn't grown in very well, we'd make them wait, do some more grass.
Okay.
And then remove it, but in this case, yeah, they can just remove it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. When would the certificate be completed?
It'll probably be maybe a couple weeks, a week or two. Maybe within this week. We'll try. Try our best
Okay,
to get
so-
it out to you this week.
Okay, so could I just pick it up?
Yeah, you can go to Jen at the town hall in the conservation office and she'll have it there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good
Thank you.
night.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Number 9.
All right, moving on. Number 9, request for certificate of compliance, DP number 143-1057 for Autumn Doobie, 60 Walnut Street, map 262, lot 3.2-4. Someone representing this property?
Just an FYI, I live down the street a little ways, not in the butter, but
You're fine then. Yes, if you could just come forward, please, and state your name.
My name's Autumn Doobie. Dean Champagne,
Thank you. And your address?
60 Walnut Street, Douglas.
All right. All right, so you're before us to get a certificate of compliance.
Yes.
You've had the engineer out, and they've provided an as-built plan?
Yes.
Okay. And were there any changes, substantial changes from the proposed plan? Nope. The letter from Land Planning Inc. states I hereby certify that all work has been completed essentially in accordance with our design plan dated May 2nd, 2025. Sam, have you taken a look at it?
Yeah, so I'll bring up some pictures right now. The construction of the house and where the septic is on the plan seems to line up exactly with what's in the field. My only real issue with this one is the grass is very patchy and has not grown in to what I would expect it to at this point. Now, the thing is, where I am standing right now is outside of the 100-foot buffer zone. So in this area in particular, it is outside. We're going to keep in mind that it's pretty steep slope down to the road here, and it's pretty barren, so I'm going to keep going through. We can come back around to this, but it is technically out of jurisdiction in this area because most of the septic is outside of the 100-foot buffer zone in this spot. It's just something to note. Along this area, it's pretty bare, and that could easily erode down to the road. And then let's go around to the back. It's a little bit patchy as far as the grass goes in the back as well. Not as bad. My question was actually, I don't know if the owners would be aware of what's going on in this area here. There's a lot of sediment almost built up. I don't know if that's the wattle in combination with sediment over here. It's just overtopping the erosion controls. It doesn't look completely stable in this area. So we kind of just a little weary about this spot. I don't know if it's been, are you aware if it was built up? Did you guys put sediment up against that or anything?
It's been like that for some time, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our recommendation is maybe we can, if you can take a shovel to this area, kind of flatten it out maybe. You can do some grass seeding in that spot, water it, get it a little bit more stable here.
Yeah.
And maybe get some grass seed throughout the yard as well, just to kind of stabilize everything a little bit better. There's another spot in the silt fence too. You can kind of see it a little bit better in this one. It's just kind of built up here.
I don't really know what happened there. I was a little interested by that as well. I don't know why it built up so high there.
Yeah, even if you just try to flatten it out a little, rake it out, and then add some grass seed to it so it's stabilized, and then, it's just a little patchy here. And then on the other side, it's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
You've got little spots that are just, So with that, we are recommending that they get it a little bit more stable. If they need, I don't know if you're desperate to get the certificate of compliance right now, if it's necessary, but if you just moved in, you don't necessarily need it at the moment, but you could give them a partial if they wanted to get a partial, and then they could come back for a complete, or we could just hold off on it while they get it more stabilized, and then they can just come back once it is stabilized, and then they can take the erosion controls. But we can do another inspection, then have them take the erosion controls out and give them the complete certificate. So the spot at the road is out of jurisdiction, so technically there's not much you could do. I think I will say down the street, I think there's a stream down there. So if sediment is coming down, there's potential for it to wash down the street. You might be able to speak to that more.
I stop it before it gets there. No, I've never seen it get in my driveway.
So that's our comments for this one.
There's kind of a stream and a pond in the back there, right?
In the
Or is
back,
that-
it's
or is that little
wetlands, but it's not really.
further
a pond. Down the
It's not
street, there's a
directly
stream.
behind.
Yeah.
It's probably like a good 15 feet behind that silt fence. There's like a stream
And then there's a pretty big pond back there.
on the other side of the
Yeah,
street. That's
that's
not on our
On the
property.
other side of the street? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, I've been over there a long time ago. Just,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's nice.
I've never seen any of the washout come down as far as my house, so if there is any at all going on.
I always like to get that.
Yeah, I would just recommend
Anyways,
stabilizing it. If you can put some more
Yes.
seed down and just water it, then it should be
We
fine.
want a lawn.
Are you opposed to waiting on the full certificate of compliance until?
I would go with whatever you guys think.
My only concern is like, I heard you guys mention previously there was an expiration on one of them. Do they all expire? Like, do we?
3
only have a
years.
certain- Oh, okay.
You should, so with your order of conditions, you get the permit lasts for 3 years. You should technically, once the work is done within that 3 years, get the certificate of compliance.
Okay.
But all the time, people
Yeah.
are way past that, so it's really not a
Right.
huge deal. It would be more if you're selling the house right now. I don't know if you just moved in, but
Yeah.
if you're, yeah, so you guys are, you have time to do
Yeah.
that. And I don't know when the original order of conditions was issued, but I don't think it's too old. So you might still even be in that time period, but I'm not sure. So, but yeah, and as long as it's stabilized and you're in no rush to get the complete certificate right now,
So
then.
just rate that out, see.
Yeah, I would just, if you can just kind of, and don't do it in past the silt fence, get it towards your
Yeah,
yard.
leave the
yes.
silt fence there, too.
Yes, leave the silt fence, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask.
Yep,
Okay.
so leave the silt fence there, rake it maybe a little bit towards your yard, just to flatten everything out, get some seed in there, just to get it stabilized a little bit
Okay.
better.
Okay, because it is the hump there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So let's,
Wait.
no, let's do the partial.
The only thing with the partial is, it's up to them if they want a partial, but if you did the partial, you'd have to do the same request again. You'd have to re-request the whole thing. I don't know if you guys did the request yourselves, or if maybe it was a realtor, or,
The
but-
builder probably.
Okay, so you would have to resubmit the whole request. So if you're in no rush, it would be easier for them to just come back and get the complete rather than the partial. It's just sometimes people want it right away to close or whatever they may need to do, so.
It's like it might be better to just come back instead of requesting a partial.
Yeah, that's-
And the only difference would be that you would have to go inspect it again and.
Yeah,
see
I mean,
whether it's
either
okay.
way, I should inspect it again, just because it wasn't completely stabilized, so then I can go and say, all right, this looks
But
good.
they don't have to go through an engineer again, was my.
No, yes.
So do I reach out to you when we're ready?
You can,
or-
if you reach out to
Okay.
the town hall, Jen Couture, she's the secretary for the Conservation Commission, so you should be able to reach out to her, and then she can put it on the agenda whenever you guys are ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good for us.
All right. Thank you, sorry about that.
No, no problem. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. So I do have a question. So we don't lose track of this kind of thing?
Yep.
Do we, is there a way that we can just keep it on like a footnote for the next agenda or whatever? So that way it just stays on and then that way,
She could put it under discussion, but the thing is, if they haven't contacted her anyway, they're not gonna know about the meeting.
no, I guess
Just as a reminder.
just as a reminder for us saying, we're waiting for the grass to grow. Just a little quick, like, so that way, say September rolls around. We can
I mean,
see.
you could maybe have it, like,
I don't know.
note for, put it on this discussion for whatever meeting is after, maybe the September meeting.
Okay.
Like, to have it as a discussion, and if they haven't reached out until then, maybe reaching out to them,
Should reach
but.
out to them.
I can remind them as well. I walk by their yard all the time, so.
But you know what I'm saying, just so
How's that
it
grass
doesn't fall
coming
through the
along?
cracks, because then it falls through the cracks.
I
try and help out.
we can write a note that says to Jen, put it on the September 8th meeting under discussion, certificate of compliance for 60 Walnut Street.
Okay.
It's a good point for like future.
It is, I mean, because we get a lot of stuff and then we're
Yeah.
like, for this one, they didn't want to do the partial, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I don't want to
It's kind of on the applicant to come back, I mean, like I said, the certificate of compliance is a lot of the time, it's supposed to be within the 3 years, once you're done within your order of conditions, but people all the time, take years and years to do the certificate of compliance. The holdup is on them. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily on you. So
Okay.
It's up to them.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's not going to hurt anything to add it and have Jen add that as a discussion.
Tough time of year trying to reseed.
That's another thing too.
Yes.
They might have to wait until the fall to reseed it anyway.
Yeah.
One more.
All right. Item 10, request for certificate of compliance DEP number 143-1070 for Ralph and Karen Massa, 9 Bald Hill Road, map 215, lot 7.1. Someone here representing this project? Can't be anyone here.
Couple people on Zoom.
Someone on Zoom representing this project? Guess not.
Yes, I am. I'm Ralph Maxwell.
Hi, Ralph.
Okay.
Welcome to the
Yes, sir.
Conservation Commission meeting. So we
Glad to
have,
be here.
and I bet. So we have a letter from Quinn Engineering stating that the work was done in conformance, other than one item is noted that the surface in front of the proposed barn was finished with sand for a horse walking area, and the slope outside this area was stabilized with riprap to prevent erosion. The plan that we have seems to only show the existing conditions, or proposed, the as-built conditions.
I have, so if you want to look up at the screen, I've got, so there's the original, this is the as-built that we have right now. And then I was able to get from Jen the original plan. So we did our site visit. I have pictures I can show you as well. Everything looks to be in compliance, with exception to what the engineer did point out. So in front of, there's the barn down here, this proposed barn, which is about, it was 40 feet from this isolated wetland here, and then there's bordering vegetated wetlands to the left in this photo here, which the 100-foot buffer zone comes right here, you can see it. So their limit of work was basically somewhat outside of the 100-foot buffer zone and within when you came around this corner. So the deviation, as was said, was this area in front of the barn is a sand area, and then they did a riprap they just riprap the slope a little bit for erosion purposes, but I think it's out of the 100-foot buffer zone completely. I'll bring up the pictures just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the sand area. We've got the barn right here, and then this area that was sanded, and then the riprap. Again, I think it's either right on the 100-foot buffer zone or right outside of the 100-foot buffer zone, so we didn't have any concerns about it. Other than that, everything looks to be in compliance with the approved site plan. The grass is grown in very well, and everything looks as approved. So we recommend a complete certificate of compliance for this.
I have a question for you, Sam. The as-built that we received doesn't show the proposed, so it's not like, we're not seeing the red of what was built on top of the black of what was proposed. Do we have a standard for what we
Yeah, I'm gonna look
need?
into that again to see if it's supposed to be red line as-built or if it just says as-built plan. I will look into that and then get back to you because I'm not sure the wording off the top of my head, but if it's just as-built, then they've technically, they've done that, but it is very helpful to have the red line over it to see what's been deviated and what's not.
Okay.
So,
Does that matter if it's in or outside of the 100-foot wetland boundary?
well, if it's outside of the 100-foot, then it's out of jurisdiction
Right.
altogether. I think this one, if I bring the other site plan back up, the old one that was originally approved, not all of the work was within a 100-foot buffer zone. They have wetlands kind of surrounding the property. This is a good one for it. It shows the dark gray is all the wetlands that are around the site, and then we've got the work here. So the 100-foot buffer zone kind of cuts in on the east side over here. This actually might be the west side. But, and then right along the erosion control limit of work in this area. So this is where the barn is, right here, and this is where the sand area is, and then the riprap's kind of right over here. So I think it's completely out of the 100-foot anyway. So.
I guess my question was if the standard is you're supposed to show any modifications in red, is a modification relevant if it's not in the 100-foot?
Technically, no, if it's not in the 100-foot.
Technicalities, I mean, you think it would be, you put the red on there anyways, just to make it clear,
Yeah.
but
So actually, this isolated wetland, it's not protected under the Wetlands Protection Act, but the bylaw does protect it. So you've got your 100-foot local wetland buffer here. So actually, that would be under your bylaw, this is within the 100-foot buffer zone. So that is in your jurisdiction. So,
Okay.
I think technically speaking, yeah, some of it's out of it altogether, but, you know, I don't think they're gonna okay, we're gonna do the as-built, they might as well just do the whole site.
oh, no, it makes sense. I
You know,
just was curious from a
yeah.
technical perspective.
But I'll look into that, Mark, to just see, double check on the wording of it to see.
Yeah, well, I should too. I should check on it. But if you're going to, please do. Any concerns?
No.
Josiah, anything? No?
Nope. Brendan?
I'm okay with it.
I don't know, just, it's interesting. I guess horses like walking on sand better than dirt.
Yes.
Right.
Don't you like
It's
walking
easier on the
beach?
knees.
I don't like walking on the beach.
Oh,
Actually, no.
No, I don't either. All right, so I will make a motion for the complete certificate of compliance for DP 143-1070, 419 Bald Hill Road, map 215, lot 7.1.
Second? Anyone?
Second.
Mike Greco seconds. Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote.
Jim Forney.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Cy Birch, aye.
Mark Mongemai. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You guys have a great night.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You too.
So, under your bylaw, under certificate of compliance, it says, when the work has been completed on a project, a certificate of compliance may be applied for in written only after the work associated with the permit has been substantially completed. A site walk will be required, at which time no less than 3 commission members shall be in attendance. That's all it says. But your special conditions,
No less
Wow,
than-
we've been really
No less than 3.
paying attention to
Why don't we
that.
skip that one?
well, but you might have a special condition for it for an as-built plan. So that I will also look at as well.
Hopefully we decided 3 members or our representative.
Wow.
But you can always, you know, I mean, you've made special conditions for more specific than what this bylaw states, which is fine too. So I'm gonna look at this.
All right. But moving on, go to others. I failed you guys. I did not look at the special conditions again.
Failed
So,
to.
sorry.
This is the signature page for that.
We will,
Had it right next to my laptop for the past 2 weeks. Just
I-
had it on
You're ahead of me, I didn't even put it near the list.
Yeah, me neither, so, yeah. So I have a question. So I know some of the other towns, which is kind of interesting, they use, it's like the biodegradable defense wattles and
Yep.
stuff, so that way, that's one less thing we have to worry about. So can we make that like a condition as
Absolutely.
going forward?
Yep.
That they just use that going and nothing else? So
Absolutely.
that way, that's one less thing that, because you know how, like, how often you can drive by anywhere and you know it's been years and years and it's just sitting.
Yeah.
still see the silver.
So, I mean, the silt fence, I don't know if there's biodegradable silt fence. The wattles, there absolutely
All right, so-
is. So the wattles, you could condition biodegradable wattles into your general special conditions if you wanted to.
Do we need to vote on that?
No. So if I may, so I was thinking that, I know we want to go through the special conditions.
Yeah.
If you would like, Brandon and myself can put together a new draft special conditions to kind of organize things a little bit better. And then you could go through that. Or if you'd like to all go through it, put your suggestions in, whatever's going to be easiest for you guys. But we can also put something together and then. And we can bring it to the next meeting and then.
Yes. Really?
Yes.
I mean, it's up to you.
For that?
We can make.
They get paid paid.
Yeah, they get paid.
Well, but so, I mean, for example, Sutton has very specific sediment control, certificate of compliance, and then several things underneath that, you know? So it just, we can make it more organized. We don't have to, you know, change the entire thing. Make it a little bit more organized. You can review it, then you can give your input on it. We can make tweaks, we can make changes if that's easier for you.
I think that would be great.
I'm all for it.
All right.
I'd go further to say not to add more words, and if you guys would be okay with it, I'd go further to say if you guys have any recommendations based on what you've seen in the past couple of years, like as like another section, just so we can look through that.
Absolutely.
And then just tighten up our ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Feel like a torpedo.
Well, I mean, that's what you just read, Sam, is a good example of why we need to review things. I mean, we haven't, never reviewed a project for certificate of compliance with two other members.
I think sidewalks are helpful too, because then you can see with your own eyes. Not the pictures aren't helpful.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have to do it all the time if you didn't want to. We could go on behalf of you, or you could do it as well, so.
Well, modern technology has got us to a point where a lot of the things are probably outdated, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Are we going to save the minutes to next time, or do you want to do that now?
I read that.
Oh, all right. I guess, Mr. Chair, we'll be doing minutes, if that's okay with you.
Let's do minutes. That would be great. I don't know how you fit that in, Kate.
There are 6 minor edits. So, under number 3, and we're on the Monday, May 19th, 2025. So under number 3, the 2 lines before the red line, it says, Mr. Fanoop is questioning the shed being 50 feet, and I think it should say 50 feet away from wetlands, or something.
Yeah, it's got to be that.
Yeah.
50 feet away from the wetlands, away from the wetland edge.
And then the second one is under item number 4, the second paragraph, Brandon Fanoop stated this house was, it should be approved, past tense instead of approved. The next sentence is Lucas Sanchez, co-owner of Blue Pool Inc. I think it should be, is the co-owner of Blue Pool Inc. Or a comma, and then remove the and, either way.
Okay.
And then in that same place stated that the proposed, I think this was for a pool, is that right? Yeah. So the proposed pool.
What are you modifying?
Oh, it just doesn't say pool. We need to add pool between proposed and will.
Where? Which line?
Number 4. 1, 2, 3. From up the bottom of number. Oh wait.
Line number 8 in item 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So it's stated that the proposed will be approximately, she wants to change to that the proposed pool will be approximately, right?
Yeah, assuming it was a pool.
Yeah, I think it was a concrete, like a small mini prefab pool, if I remember correctly. Like a jacuzzi, pool, cold water. No,
I don't remember, yeah. That was in May. We're in July.
And then on the back of the page, item number 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down, it says respondent did work on the property without filing any notices, and now within 60, I think it should say 60 days.
Yeah. Of the May 5th date.
Yeah.
Of the letter from DP.
And the last one is just item number 7, 4 lines down. After engineer, we should say stated. So this is this we should also have a is. This is a certificate of compliance for an addition done in 2010. The letter from the engineer stated that it was for the construction.
Okay.
And those are all the exhibits.
Make a motion to approve Conservation Commission Monday, May 19th minutes with the changes that we just discussed.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to approve the Monday, May 19th, 2025 meeting minutes with the changes as discussed. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
You can vote.
Oh, Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Wasn't here.
Oh. And I wasn't here.
That was the record time meeting, remember?
Oh, that's right, I was in charge. Make a motion to dismiss, or is there something else you want to go over? Or-
No, I have nothing else. Anybody else have anything else they want to talk about?
No.
No? All right, we're good.
Make a motion to dismiss?
Adjourn.
To adjourn?
Dismiss.
I'll second the motion to adjourn.
Dismissing me? Motion
One good meeting and
See? Made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to dismiss the chair.
dismiss the chair so we can get meetings done quicker.
To adjourn.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Muncham, aye.
Oh.